I'm going to have a bye week.
Do you want to keep going?
I just said I feel like a king, knowing that I'm going to probably have the number 1 seed. Definitely going to have a bye week.
We're proud of you.
Yeah, it's just nice to see no one being able to talk shit.
Who's ever talked shit?
Whoever talks shit about your team.
Yeah, Pete usually has shit to talk, some smug comments. Oh,
tell me one shit I've ever talked about your team.
You said last week that I was going to lose to Nick.
Is that shit, or did I told it to your face? That was my truth.
That's shit talking my team.
Okay.
I'm on a revenge tour.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
everyone to talk shit on me.
Dan, our records against each other this year. 1-1, baby.
Hey. Nick, am I 0-2 against you?
No, 1-1. Hey, I'm 1-1 with the top 2 teams in the league. Hey, sign me up.
Let him into the playoffs. Let him in.
I'm gearing up for the consolation bracket. Just getting all my guys ready, figuring out which handcuffs I want to keep before waivers tomorrow and whatnot. So,
can't wait to get into that collusion later in this podcast.
Well, we could have some earth-shattering news today. Well, we've got a few big announcements. Number one, we were talking about it. Pat McAfee got paid, so we're working out something with FanDuel as well to get a similar type of deal done. Thanks to all the subscribers. And speaking of subscribers, we hit 10.
Let's go.
Lauren's definitely not going to listen to this, but I'm going to get a paper bag from Hy-Vee and we're going to sign it and give it to her.
She's going to lose her mind.
She's going to listen to this. She's hearing all of these words right now.
If you guys print out a screenshot of us all doing the pod, I will print it out next time I go into the office and we can sign it.
We all sign it.
Put it in like a dollar store frame.
We put it up instead of the Will flag.
Oh.
We just throw it in there instead. We kind of like slap it in there.
A new man's out. A new man's in. Will's out.
Hey,
we'll see after the
drivers. I never thought we'd get here.
We'll see after the QBE shootout if it's worth a changeover.
Yeah,
he's going to be pretty good in the QBE shootout. And speaking of, I've been in talks with FanDuel as well to see the deals that they can give us to be our official sports book of the pod. So far, we're at a $10 free bet.
That's better than a $0 free bet.
Are you going to hedge?
No, it has to be used on a parlay, so you can't really hedge it. But
is that the one that all of the users got?
They did say that that's the best they can do currently. But
I'm gonna parlay you getting the 1 seed and Shaw missing the playoffs at even odds to get that $10 free bet.
Odds.
Yeah, hey, it's the boost of the week.
Ooh. Even odds, and that's
maybe
boosted.
The pod would give a boost of the week.
My odds maker for Shaw winning the championship this season is 45-1. We're gonna boost that tonight only to 40-1. Get your bets in now. Maximum $100 bet though. Can't be held too liable.
Bro, I think I would accept bets on Shaw if anyone wants to make them for Shaw to win the championship at 45-1.
You would cover it?
I think it's like free money.
He's only like a 30% chance to even make the playoffs, let alone win it all.
3 weeks straight.
I'm going to have to hit the Yahoo forums because Delvin Cook was just upgraded to active. So we've got some big things. And what does the game start in an hour? All right.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, let's get moving here. We've got a lot to talk about. So let me share my screen and we'll get an update on the buckle race, which was beautifully designed by Dan. Hopefully he kept the original rendering because that thing beautiful. We're just going to put ourselves over the 3 out of the playoffs, but we've got some folks in and we've got a lot of confusion going on. I think that these pictures hold true once again this week, and especially more than ever for Shaw. Things are still blurry. And they could be very clear. Well, they will be very clear after this next week, but Shaw might not like the way they look. Dan, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've been banging the Shaw drum for quite a while. He's been high in my power rankings. He's made some incredible strides. But our main analyst, Nick, brought up some valid points that I think I overlooked. And he said while Shaw was flying high early in the season, picking up wins while others had buys, his buys were coming later in the season.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately for Shaw, that's when he needed the wins to get into the playoffs. And now, with a lot of his key players out, it's going to be hard to do. I do think if he makes the playoffs, though, he does have a formidable team when all put together. But he's got to get in.
I think that stack of pictures is more accurate than last week. We got Alex holding up the W because he's going to make it. I'm telling you right now. So he's in. And the milk machine, there's a little bit cut off there. I bet you can see the baseball going right past his bat because he struck out. Had the freaking bases loaded, 1 seed locked up, and he decided to not listen to this podcast. Man, if he listened to this podcast, he'd be undefeated. Anyways, he is looking at possibly missing the playoffs altogether.
I think Ben's is pretty telling too. I mean, look at his swing. It's hard to look at. His team's hard to look at. But just like, us as good friends, we invite him out to a golf tournament. We invited him into the playoffs, but he's not going to be taking home any prizes.
Not if Foster Moreau has anything to us. Didn't even know that was a real name until I saw Ben start Foster Moreau last week. So might be one of the best starts ever. What was that, Dan?
How many points did Foster put up?
We'll get into it. He's not on the top performers, though. Actually, I have no idea.
I guess he had one catch.
Still stays there, number one. He's looking pretty for the playoffs. So Chris still has some heavy lifting to do. He's taking a plate off, but Chris defied all of our odds and got into the playoffs. But hey, good news for Shaw. I will be firing up Delvin Cook. Delvin Cook is going to operate with a shoulder harness tonight. But,
holding the ball in one hand, the other hand in the harness.
But the last time Cook wore the same device on his shoulder for a similar injury, it was in the Vikings wildcard win against the Saints, and he went off for 130 yards and 2 rushing tutties. So,
Saber metric of the year.
all I'm going to say is the Vikings are in. I think if the Vikings beat the Lions last week, Madison plays this week.
Yeah, I agree.
They are in a must-win situation, and they need their horse. All right, let's move along. Weekly recap here. Nick, take it away.
I lost. I don't know. I don't know what else people want to say. As long as Tampa Bay is going, Chris is going, I think he can beat anyone in the playoffs when they come around. Will he do it however 3 weeks in a row? I'm not sure about that. Debo, questionable still. He's someone Chris's team is someone to watch moving forward in this playoff picture. He is the new boom bust. Shaw has lost that title after barely putting up 90 points in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, Dan getting Jefferson going is big. If Thielen's out, that's a big bump for him, and getting Kyler back. Obviously, we'll see what happens with the Cowboys backfield. That's going to be a question mark for me and Dan's team moving forward, but Jefferson is looking like a freaking stud. So Dan, well done there. T Higgins is basically the second coming of Justin Jefferson these last 2 weeks. Has gone over 20, target monster. And
I remember one time when I picked up T Higgins from Toy, and I said, hey, this man's the truth. Everyone laughed at me. Shaw more than anyone, because he had Jamar Chase. Well, Jamar Chase is not looking so hot. I bet he wishes he still had T Higgins. He could have had him. I would have done Jamar Chase for T Higgins. Not anymore.
Hey. Well, Javonte Williams finally finds his way into my starting lineup, goes off for 26, was pumped about that. And also on the Shaw front, he did decide to start Carson Wentz this week. So not that starting Gardner Minshew looks any better, but that is salt in the wound. I have a text here from Shaw, which Dan, if there's anything you want to add, I'll come back to this text in just a second.
Berg was able to put up over 100 points with his tight end going for 35 damn points. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Berg usually has one irrelevant player go bananas for 100.
Sunday, 7:27 a.m. Bro, the look on Minshew's face when he rolled into MetLife. Next text message right after. I might have to start him. I don't reply. Sunday, 11:05. This is actually during the game because I was on West Coast time, so this was actually 2:05. I want bad things to happen to Wentz. The man has fucked me too many times. Anywho, Shaw has got a lot of heavy lifting to do. Once again, as the Bucks go, so do the Brady bunch. And if you look at that, it's pretty impressive that 1, 2, 3 are quarterback, tight end, running back, same team. I don't know how often you will ever get that in fantasy.
You will in 2 weeks when they play the Jets.
Uh-oh.
Chris could be sneaky good. All right. This is what gets the people going. I forgot to actually sort this so that it's in order, but really the only one that's majorly out of place here is Shaw being a big dropper in our power rankings. But Dan, take us away.
Yeah. Mine did not change all that much. The 1 and 2, a pretty fair consensus. I have 3 being Toy. I think Toy's team is coming on. It's putting on pretty consistent numbers. I like Toy to be in the playoffs here. Ben, his team does absolutely stink, but a lot of people, including me, forget about that loss to Berg. So, I was able to move him back up a little bit just out of some recency bias. Then I have Milk. I think if anyone misses the playoffs here, it's Milk. I think he deserves it. I know I could talk all the shit I want because he doesn't even listen to this. He doesn't, I think, care that much. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think it's clear in the way his team has just fallen in the recent weeks. Chris, I have 6. I think Chris's team is boom or bust. Any given week, he could put up highest or lowest amount of points. I'm still not a believer. I would not be surprised if he's knocked out first week of playoffs. In fact, I'd like that. Just because I hope I don't have to go up against him week 2, given that Tampa Bay plays the Jets. Shaw fell the hardest to 7. I mean, statistically, he's not going to make the playoffs. His team needs to put up some points. I hope they do, but I just don't see it happening. I think the playoffs are better if Shaw's in them, so I'm hoping he does, but we'll see. Next, Cole. His team still fights. I respect him for it. His team's had some bumps and bruises, but it looks like those crops are finally sprouting. Nick, his team sucks. It might be, it's bad. After all the shit he talked at the beginning of the season about how smart he is and how he's the fantasy Stephen Hawking and he's the best at fantasy and, oh, look at my big board, and he's cackling to himself after every draft pick. And it feels good that he's at 9. And then 10, Berg, I wish I could move you higher, but your team stinks.
I think the loudest cackle was after Pittsburgh D, round 9.
Okay, that was warranted.
Yeah, that was not a good.
Hey, I'm not saying it wasn't. Yeah, I took the feedback and got better.
There you go. See?
My favorite Peter quote. I was on the phone with him earlier this season, and we were talking about how he spent 10 fab on Pittsburgh D. And I was like, that was a stupid move. And he's like trying to defend it, like, oh, I needed a D. And I was like, it wasn't the stupidest move you've made all season. And he got super defensive. He's like, what? How is that not the stupidest move? I go, well, you draft the 9th. And he's like, oh.
Pete's team, if it wasn't hampered by this love for the Steelers defense, clearly number one in the league.
Couldn't imagine
Hey.
where that.
Hey, all I know is I still have Fab and you don't.
Hey, very true.
Nick?
Yeah. I actually did not rank the bottom three because we all suck. But I ranked the top seven based on who is the most likely to win the whole thing. So Dan almost locking up that 1 seed and the first round bye. He's clearly the favorite. Peter looks like he might be the one to get that second bye. So I'm giving him number 2. And also just because his running back situation and overall depth is very strong. I've been late to the milk party. I dropped him down to 3. He was my number 1. He has some holes to fill in his roster, even especially if Edmonds comes back, that eats away at his RB1 status with James Conner. He could miss the playoffs altogether, so he no longer deserves to be considered a top team in this league. So 3. I've got Ben 4th. I think he has the pieces to make a run because he's got Kamara, he's got Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Lamar, all these really high upside guys. He's got a couple holes in his the rest of the team, though. We'll see if Higgins keeps performing and whatnot. So 4, I like Ben's chances just as a decent manager, knowing what he's doing to at least make a run at the championship. Alex is 5th. The trade with Peter is actually looking like it's working out in his favor right now. Jonathan Taylor is awesome, and he got rid of the black hole that was Terry McLaurin on his team and upgraded to get a top 7 guy like Godwin. So he's 5th. I would have him higher and above Ben actually if he was not fighting for his playoff life still this week. There's a chance that he doesn't make it. Once he makes it, I'll bump him higher for his chances to win it all. 6th is Chris. I think he's got more upside than most teams in this league, but will he be able to put it all together in 1 week or 3 weeks in a row, I should say? I doubt it. He has too much reliance on one actual NFL team to get that done. And then Shaw is 7th. I think your team is solid, but the fact that you are favored to not make the playoffs had to give you the 7th spot. You might get a bump up if you make it above some of these other teams otherwise. And that's it. Oh, also, I just thought of it while we were looking at this. So you guys, is Dan 1 above Peter? So if Dan loses and Pete wins, you got to pay him out $20 for your little bet about who finishes higher in the standings.
I think it was
End of season.
Including playoffs.
Oh, you included the playoffs. Okay. Never mind.
Me and Ben didn't though, and he already paid me out. So
Ben, you had a bet with Ben?
$10, yeah.
For what?
Season.
Not playoffs?
Nope, just regular season.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have too much to add. I'll echo what you said about the toy trade. I think I still potentially make that trade today because of Kelsey. I think that he's gonna have. I think Toy's biggest toy. I have challenges starting my flex. I think Toy's gonna have troubles figuring out who's his play week to week. Like, can Mike Williams pop off and he's gonna start him? Like, he had David Montgomery on his bench this week who went for damn near 30 points. So Toy might struggle with that come playoffs on who the matchup is, but I don't have too much else here. Milk's at 3 because he can still put up points, but he is definitely falling fast. And Shaw's got some big bye week issues this week. Obviously going to have to go to the waiver for quarterback again. So we'll see how that works. Chris's team scares me and Toy's team scares me the most. The one and Dan, Toy, and Chris's team scare me the most just because of what they can do. And Chris's, if they pop off, as we've seen, they can go. But outside of that, I don't have too much to add. And we'll get a lot of clarity coming out of this week.
Agreed.
All right, let's go to the Ass Man.
Oh, a condensed Ass Man.
Yeah, so I have my big screen here.
Everyone knows how to read it, so I won't really talk too much. Hey, pause the YouTube video, go get a nice cup of coffee, sit down, really study this, and get a good idea of where everyone lies in the team. But yeah, this is the ass table. Side note, hey, Berg, nice job in poker in Arizona. I'm really happy for you. Flipping over nut flush 2 hands in a row to win a couple $100 each time. That's huge for your bankroll. I can't wait for it to hit my account.
So his bankroll in poker goes to Nick and his fantasy team goes to Dan. I see how it works.
Yeah. Keep calling a $4 bet with third pair and you'll win some eventually.
Okay. Love it. Dan, 1.7 over. Interesting.
Yeah, this is the last week I will be updating it. I won't be doing it for playoffs. So get a good look at the ass table.
Yeah, Shaw's bust potential 31% still.
He is very prone to some low scores.
Yikes. 1 second.
Hey, Emily.
What do you
Oh,
think?
that's not Emily. Just kidding. They're in
It's my
he's in-
brother.
Oh, that is
Brother.
true.
My brother. Nick, Dan, any thoughts here?
Nope. I think it's. If you told me the teams that are above their expected wins, I could probably guess them, and the teams below, you could probably guess.
Yeah. All right, let's
Yeah.
let's go through actually last week's pick'em. Nick 3-2, Dan 3-2, Peter 2-3. So let's go to matchup previews here.
I've lost so many damn picks taking Luke. I am not taking him this week. I swear, every single week.
What do we think is the matchup of the week? It's definitely milk and toy. So let's start with the lovers, Cole and Ben.
The
So
lovers.
once this puppy loads. All right, as closest to we've got the roommate of the roommate battle of the podcasters here. So Dan, take it away, closest to Cole here. Give us your preview.
I cannot see the matchup.
Is my screen not sharing?
You might be just sharing.
It's sharing. It's sharing the PowerPoint.
Oh, let me do this.
It's a bad look for that new subscriber. There's no way they stay after this week.
Well, they know that we still have work to do. FanDuel isn't perfect. So how about now?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
I'm taking Ben.
can you scroll down?
Keenan Allen's not playing.
He is not playing.
Gesicki, his gun Mike Gonsucky is on a
Wait.
bye.
And
How's that
Ayuk
going?
was not good. They did not use him. And Debo might be coming back.
I did see Cole picked up. Did Cole pick up Allen Robinson? No, I think he's been on his team.
Cole
Yeah,
hasn't
he-
made a move in weeks.
He's
Yeah.
just wasted on the bench there.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna have a talk about with Cole about this. All right, I take Ben.
A good sit down.
I take Ben here as well. I'll be interested to see who he starts in his flex because I don't mind the AJ Dillon play, but if Aaron Jones is healthy, but just because Jamal Williams, the Denver defense is decent, but the Detroit stinks. But yeah, he's definitely better than Russell Gage. I've got Ben here as well.
He's wasting a roster spot on Antonio Brown. The Buccaneers might even cut him once he comes back. So it's like,
Really?
yeah, they said he might not make it.
I am not
past
impressed with Ben's fantasy managership. I really thought he was going to be better.
He's won, so like they say, winning cures everything.
His record against almost every other schedule, though, is subpar.
Yeah.
He's got the really high end talent, like I said, but
You realize that
there's holes.
if Ben did something my week and actually started a full team, he would be like, that game was like 90-80. And when I beat him in with my Bimageddon, and he would be tied for first in the league right now. With least points.
But then he would have had to drop Sterling Shepard.
Oh, is he off his?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Sterling Shepard's on my team. Once Ben dropped him, because Ben wouldn't give me Elijah Moore before the trade deadline, I knew I needed Sterling Shepard.
Kadarius Toney is one of the highest fabs in our league, so still just sitting on that bench. All right, let's go to actually no, this is the matchup of the week. let's
You
go.
can go.
to-
You can go to mine.
Yeah, let's go to yours.
It's another uneventful one where we will all be taking the same player. I will be taking Chris, and I think it's closer. Well, it is the Buffalo
Buffalo's at
matchup
home.
for the. So Chris is playing against Buffalo this week, and if Debo is out, I think I have a chance. But my entire team is on crutches at this point. And that's even with me sending off one of them that wasn't even on crutches. He was in a wheelchair to Peter for Pittman. But I've tried to cobble together just like 9 guys, just rounding up anyone on the street who wants to play in this last week. So I'm still gonna take Chris.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Chris as well.
Okay, you guys are both taking Chris.
Chris having Devonta
All right.
Freeman for like 30 last week was kind of gross. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is decent, but running back as a flex is always not a cool move.
Okay, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna take myself then if you're both taking Chris.
All right.
All right.
Him dropping Darnell Mooney when he had looked really good on his team is going to come back to bite him this week. Mooney's
Love
going for
that.
15.
Hey, the league wants you to win.
I want you to win.
All right. Shaw and myself. So is Henderson not playing?
He was limited today.
Okay.
He was limited today, and so was Joe Mixon.
Oof.
And he's going to start Kirk Cousins tonight.
Oh,
Tyler Lockett was his highest scoring player last week.
I see that changing. But
What do you see changing?
I don't think Tyler Lockett will be the highest scoring player this week.
Oh, no.
Oh my! If
Kyle Pitts has had 2 good weeks. Otherwise, he's irrelevant.
wow, yeah, if Henderson can't go, he's in a world of hurt.
Shaw in this situation reminds me of R. Kelly when he's doing that interview and he's fighting for his life and everyone knows he's going to lose, but you're like, damn, you really
Well, his best player is on his bench on bye this week. And no, I'm not talking about Jalen Hurts, the Patriots defense. So I don't know how he's going to pull off more than 80 points without his defense going for 30.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got myself here. I like myself at almost every position here. At every position, I like my team here.
Shaw's team would look good if he had the backup Rams running back, though.
Why doesn't he have him?
That's a good question why he doesn't have him, but maybe he'll have him by the end of the week.
Manager. So the collusion that came out this week is between Shaw and Nick. I don't know who's at fault, really. It's both of them, but there's a potential deal where Nick's going to drop Sony Michel right before the waiver wire, and Shaw's going to scoop him up. But I just want to let the league know that as the good guy commissioner, I would never let that happen. And if I see any funny business go on, there's going to be 2 more people joining Cole in the fantasy gulag.
Well, I just want to see you win the league, so I'm doing anything to help you. Dan.
I do appreciate that, but I also don't want a stain on my championship run.
There's a stain already on this championship run. Don't worry.
Figure.
Look at your team name this week, and I'll go figure.
At 1:30 today. Whoa!
Oh, thanks for upgrading it.
I've been upgraded. Caesar Sportsbook today has a $1 in free bets for every rushing yard that Najee Harris and Alex Madison get. Unfortunate timing on that one, so don't bet that one. So who do you guys have here?
I'm gonna take. I will follow suit with Patter.
All right.
I really want to pick Shaw.
No, you don't.
I love Shaw winning here. But
How much?
Don't like it.
How much shit did he give you for your football game this weekend? How much did he clap in your face? This is what you can hold over him right now.
Yeah, he was pretty mean. I must say.
He
Well,
did.
buddy,
I will say on the record that he called me a bad friend when I said I wouldn't drop Sony Michelle. So maybe if he would have been a little bit nicer to me.
you know what? Maybe if he would have been a little bit nicer at the Jets game, I would have jumped in front of the guy coughing and showed COVID right.
He's
But
homesick.
yeah,
All he can do is look at his phone and his fantasy roster, and it's just making it so much worse with the COVID.
Just stewing on how to beat me. Like I said, hey, if week 5 when I was 1-4, you said collusion was needed to beat me, I would be wondering what world you were living in.
yeah, a lot has changed since then.
Cool. Yeah. So Shaw's the loser in this COVID situation. Dan, you're the winner. You get to work from home the rest of the week.
Hey, if any of the people I work with are listening to this, I want to let you know I do have COVID-like symptoms. I have been sniffly all day. So I won't be in tomorrow either.
That's smart. Don't risk it. Yeah.
do
I
not
appreciate you
risk
doing
it.
that.
You should probably take another week. All right.
Quarantine, 10 days.
All right. One of the matchups we've been looking to for quite some time. Dan versus Berg. Dan Berg's super team versus Berg's team.
Where's the waiver wire?
He's got a lot of players from my team. DJ Moore, Damian Harris.
He's got a lot of players from both of your teams.
Odell
Yeah.
Beckham.
Hopkins, Kittle, Aaron Jones. He's all three of our teams rolled up into one.
Hey, Kittle's
And
been a
Pat Mahomes.
stud.
He's gone every single player. I used to have Tyler Bass. I had George Kittle. I had Aaron Jones.
Yeah, the only person he
Yeah.
hasn't traded is Mahomes.
But he did get can you scroll down? He did draft Damian Harris, who's back on his
Oh, back for round 2.
yeah.
The king is home.
God. Dan, your team looks very good with everybody in.
I am glad he's held on to Miami D. I think that's going to help him in the losing bracket.
Hey, you don't want to go down that Florida heat. That's a big brain move. Outside of Nits, jolly old St. Nicholas, Dan, your team is at full health. It looks good. I'm impressed. I got Dan.
Yeah, I'll take Dan. I don't want to risk my record being even worse.
Yeah, I kind of
But if Berg pulls this off,
if Berg pulls this off, and I think somewhere the higher fantasy powers that be, it's going to be a DJ Moore revenge game, as Berg put it. He's going to go for 50. Who else does he have that used to be on mine? Tyler Bass is going to put up
his flex.
OBJ.
Odell Beckham.
Oh my God. I like the Packers D this week against Chicago.
I do think that was a good pickup. I wanted to pick up a D, but I already have 2 that I'm holding.
The D Hop play too. That could be that's that'll be a shootout. That game.
I got the Kyler Murray counteraction though.
True.
I think the writing's going to be on the wall after tonight's game when Juicy Jeff goes for 50. But if Juicy Jeff does not go, Berg is going to be cackling like a baby.
my favorite type of Berg.
Cackling like a baby. Was Berg chasing any tail out in Arizona?
Oh, all of it. There is nothing left.
I know he wasn't allowed to put any pictures online. Otherwise, who would find out he went on the trip, on the Girls Plus Peter trip.
And Caucasian James. Shout out. He's a listener. He's listened to, we've got a, as I think he's, he called himself a C-list celebrity is what I asked him. So we got a C-list celebrity tuned in once a year.
If people knew Caucasian James listened to our content, this is about to blow up.
And Nick, he asked you for fantasy advice. Remember that?
What, just like a start sit back in the
on the trade. If he should accept the trade that he got when we were sitting at dinner that one night.
The taco one?
Place. Yeah.
Yeah, he was asking the wrong guy at the table, apparently.
No. All right. This is the matchup of the week.
Agreed.
He's moved on from Hunter Henry. We've got Tyler Higbee in. Is Mike Williams close contact?
Hunter Henry's also on a bye week, but
Mike Williams is close contact, but he has back-to-back negative results.
Gotcha.
So he could
But
still
he's
play.
out.
They have it listed as out, but he could still play.
Okay. God,
Not that he needs to.
Toy's team looks good.
Yeah, I'm taking Alex this week. That's my big brain pick. I think Alex is going to walk over the Milk team that this is what happens to Luke every single year. He like lucks into some awesome draft and then makes some interesting plays, kind of sits on his team for a bit, and then he kind of falls off. So I think Alex has been more attentive. He listens to the podcast every single week. He hears our criticism. He takes it in. He makes a big baller trade for the number one running back. And I think even without him this week, he gets in.
Oh, man. Milk has fantastic matchups.
Except the only bad one is that Booper Bup at Arizona.
I mean, I feel like Booper Bup's matchup proof.
Cooper Kupp was limited at practice today.
Ooh.
What did Cooper Kupp do last time they played Arizona? There's no way he sits. It's for the division. Oh, he only had 9 points in Arizona.
He was not limited to practice the week prior.
Yeah, he was limited today with a toe injury.
God, he's had 1 game at single digits. Wow. I'm gonna take Toy here, but I like his plays. The Deontay Foreman's a good play. They don't have anyone to throw the ball to. Who knows what happens with James Conner, but I'm gonna take Toy here.
It's really gonna come down to, in my opinion, if Higbee catches a touchdown. Because that would not only add to the Stafford 4, but it would take away from a Booper Bup touchdown in a game that there's probably not going to be many. Whew, now, can you look at the Higbee touchdown stats?
He's probably got like 2 or 3 on the year. Not many.
Top streaming tight ends of week 14 was the video when you click on him. That's a good sign.
3 tutties.
3 touchdowns against San Fran, Seattle, and Tampa Bay. He put up,
and when he went for a touchdown, his max was 12.5.
Higbee stinks.
He should be so much better in that offense.
You would think. You really would.
If I was him, I would go look at the waiver wire, see if any tight end hit the waivers after today. Maybe he makes a move. Hey, it's good on him that he's listening to this podcast, but I will say that there is a nice Dallas tight end that was dropped today. That was not collusion. I don't want to have 2 tight ends on my roster anymore. But
and I don't know if Schultz is the guy, but I mean, if Higbee's max is 12 and he's getting overshadowed by Cooper Kupp, I think Milk can run away with that. I mean, if Higbee steals a touchdown, like I said, I think that would push it towards Toy. God, this is such a close matchup.
I think, yeah.
I mean, the Packers, too, have been sneaky good against the run. But Montgomery did have a good week against Vita Vea. Or were they playing? No, they were playing Arizona. Never mind.
But then he could put in Mike Williams if Mike Williams can go over David Montgomery. Honestly, against the Giants, that's the better play.
I mean, you might keep David Montgomery, drop Antonio Gibson, and slot in Mike Williams.
Antonio Gibson has been putting up numbers.
Look at when he started to put up his 20 points weeks, and it was the week I traded him away. It's so sad.
Is J.D. McKissick still out?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
McKissick played, I thought.
Oh, did he? Well, Nick, that's what you drafted him to be.
Yeah, I just couldn't wait around for him.
So, Dan, we know you love the theatrics. Who do you have here?
I'm going to take Toy for a couple of reasons. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to put up more numbers than Stafford. So I think Can we go back to it? I just want to make sure I'm logical.
Just a minute. We're back.
All right. I just want to make sure I'm thinking the right thing. So I take Aaron Rodgers over Stafford with that matchup. I take Toys running backs. Patterson's going to go nuts. I like either Gibson or Montgomery. Deonta Foreman was a flash in the pan. James Conner with the Rams defense might be a little difficult. DK has been kind of stinking. Booper Bup against Arizona. I don't really like that. Godwin against Buffalo is a terrible matchup. Marquise Brown against Cleveland. Last time the Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland went together, they sucked. I think I hate both their wide receivers, but I guess I'd give Milk wide receiver. Tight end, Milk. Flex, Amari versus Mike Williams. I guess I'll give it to Mike Williams. Defense is a wash. Kickers, Milk. I got to take Milk. I think Milk just got it.
The
I'm
numbers add
surprised
up.
that you
4-2.
don't like Godwin versus Buffalo.
Godwin against anybody is amazing.
Yeah.
But the asset that he was really traded for, Adam Thielen, is even more amazing than Godwin. Good trade, Berg, by the way. We all thought that was really smart at the time too, right, guys?
He proposed it. I woke up to a Thielen for Godwin text. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the
What'd you
pod.
guys expect? I had to win that week. So you traded for guys that were on bye and injured.
Well, Dan did turn Chubb into Chubb, Zeke, and Pollard. Still one of the greatest lines. Well, that brings us to the end, boys. Next week is playoffs. I hope that I am just sitting back with Dan, just feet up.
Big old martini in my hand.
just sipping, just watching our players. They're going to rest our players next week, so we'll be good.
I hope they do.
I still got to get there.
I'm going to send Shawl out to all the organizations and cough on my players. Get them 1 week of COVID. Give them a good old rest for the bye week. Come out swinging in the first round. Or second round.
Oh, you're not getting the bye.
Bro, relax.
Ooh.
All right. Nick, any closing thoughts for our viewership?
Hey, this might be the last time you see me in the regular season. We'll see on my availability next week with my exam on Thursday. So,
Well, this
hit or
is the
miss if I'll
last time
be
we
here.
will see any of us in the regular season, Nick.
well, the playoffs don't start until Thursday.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
The last day of the regular season.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye out for where Sony Michelle ends up. But Nick, if we don't see you next week, I hope you get whatever you need on that exam to pass.
A 6.
Whatever it's
Everyone
coding,
remember
right?
6. It is a little bit of coding. Yes. R coding.
Maybe Berg
So-
could help you out.
A little bit of predictive analytics. Berg
What?
said he doesn't know R, but he said he probably could help me. So he's a good guy move.
Hey. Well, that's all. Let's hope Dalvin Cook does what he did when he went for 130 and 2 tutties. I need it in this league, and I need it in my other league to make the playoffs.
I have a feeling that we're going to lose some viewers after this week once this podcast gets relevant to less people. So I'd just like to thank all the viewers in the league. Hopefully you continue to listen in the playoffs to see me victory strut week in and week out. Yeah, it's been fun doing this. Can't wait to do some of the recap episodes. Follow us through the playoffs.
We're gonna have 2 viewers, me and you, through the playoffs. We're gonna record and then watch it back. Nick, best of luck, sir. With that, over and out.